So again, as per, I am on here as well. So if you want to see charts or coinmarketcap.com or CoinGecko, whatever I use to research and help the discussion along tonight, more than welcome to pop along over there and have a look. Link in bio. But yeah, going live. So let me just get onto the Discord and I will let everyone know I'm here. But that's just got rid of all that. So let's do that again. There we go. Right. Okay. Cool. Thank you for your patience. If you're still here waiting for me to look up, I do appreciate your patience. Just setting things up here. I'm dual streaming and just let everyone know in Discord that I am live. I'm going to get that little bit of hair down because I look like Mr. Majika. For anyone who knows their literature and is about the same age as me, that will make complete sense. Right. So let's start off by having a look at the market and see what is happening. So Bitcoin, let's have a look, 1% up, so just over 20K. So it looks like the dip might have halted. You know, it seems to have bottomed out this time around about 19.4, and we're back up above 20. So that's a good bit of recovery. I've got the hourly chart up on YouTube. Heading into the 4-hourly chart, it looks pretty much the same. Obviously, it's very short term. Tom Hunter, welcome to YouTube, buddy. Thank you for popping over. Good to see you. I hope you can see the charts and the chat and everything else. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Right, so then we've got the daily chart on Bitcoin. The daily chart on Bitcoin is what concerns me now. I'm a long-term investor, so what happens hourly, 4-hourly, daily doesn't really bother me. It is kind of like the bigger picture of the market. Should I buy more? Should I buy less? Excellent stuff, Tom. Thank you for confirming. So you can see here this kind of channel that I've pitched out at the moment. We are getting squeezed into a corner on the daily chart. Now, with the market being what it is, I'm expecting this to be fairly bearish. So I think we'll just continue being volatile and then probably more downside. Evening, Mark. How are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. 500 million XRP. It wasn't me. I'm tempted to get back into XRP. There is quite a lot of bullish news around XRP at the moment. I'm still holding my bag, but I've said I'm not going to DCA unless the price comes down a long way. But to be fair, XRP does have a lot of good vibes around it at the moment. So 4.3 million active wallets, $848 million worth of trade in the last 24 hours, or that was probably yesterday's news. So it's the 4th largest asset by trade at the moment. So it is definitely something happening. And as you say, $500 million worth of trade there. Now, if we have a look at XRP on the hourly chart, let's find that little bad boy in here. There it is. So you can see here on the hourly, I mean, we started off on the 16th of September, 9 a.m., around about 32 cents. We're now up to 37 with a wick up to 38. So we've seen significant growth there, over 20% within the last few days. So XRP definitely making some good news. And as you quite rightly said, that volume, that $500 million purchase, 2 absolutely huge candles pumping into XRP. I think the market is probably FOMOing in, hence we're seeing more green candles. Is this just someone manipulating XRP, trying to make it pump, and then they're going to dump on us? I don't know. It could be, or it might just be an institutional investor buying a ton of XRP. I prefer the latter, of course. My sell target on XRP for me, $5 to $10. Clearly going to have to be after the Ripple lawsuits done and dusted. So yeah, I mean, huge buying volume on XRP in the last few days. No one feels the pain like XRP holders. Absolutely. And that's what kind of why I stopped DCAing. Now, I believe in RippleNet and I believe in XRP. But as long as it's as long as 800 million TikToks. Yeah, there's a lot of XRP on TikTok at the moment as well. You're absolutely right, Tom, on YouTube. Thank you very much. But yeah, XRP holders really feeling the pinch. Decrypto, welcome, buddy. Good to see you on YouTube. Thank you for joining me over there. As I said, I'm not doing the charts because I feel like I'm an expert. I'm just sharing and showing what I talk about. So this is my basic TA. And obviously, when I'm asked about a project, if I go into detail, I'll show the screen as I dive around. So you get the benefit of that on YouTube. Is it true XRP was the first crypto or Bitcoin? I think the RippleNet paper was written before the Bitcoin paper. I think that's the law, the story to it. Or, God, I went really old-fashioned, the law. But yeah, I mean... it's been around a long time. It's definitely an institutional buy. Everyone says, why are you buying it? It's the banker's coin. And I think the people that get XRP buy it because it's the banker's coin. So, XRP, Quant, XLM, which has also seen a really good pump, XDC, Algo, anything around ISO. I think ISO could be like the next big pump. It's going live in November. We're going to have a buy the rumor, sell the news event, but none of these projects are confirmed to actually be doing anything to help these financial institutions adhere to that ISO 222 standard that they've all signed up to. So no one knows what project's doing what, and really, no one knows what's next to be adopted. So it's ISO is still very prospective, but I think it is an area of crypto that could pump on its own, even in a bear market, because we've got the CBDCs coming out next year, the test beds at least anyway in the UK and Australia. I think probably India won't be too far behind either. But we'll get the test nets out next year. We'll see how well it works, how it operates. We'll find out who they're working with. Because if you set up a test bed with someone, you're probably looking to partner with them for the actual real thing, you'd think. Although you never can tell in crypto or in politics. But yeah, XRP really strong, ISO really strong. And there's definitely a lot of chatter about XRP at the moment. Loads of good news coming out about it. Leon, welcome. Anyone who's just joined TikTok in the last few minutes, thank you very much for joining us. Please remember to hit that follow button and smash those likes. It really does help. If you want to see charts or screens that I look at when I'm talking about things that I talk about, feel free, head on over to here. The link is in the bio. Go check that out and subscribe over there as well. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think XRP is strong. But I'm not actually buying at the moment. I'm DCAing into the market. Even though it might dip lower, I'm going to continue to DCA. But I'm not buying XRP unless it gets cheap. But there comes that point where it's kind of like, am I going to FOMO in? Or am I just going to hold my ground? At the moment, I'm holding my ground. Stellar XLM chart. Let's have a look at Stellar XLM for Decrypto. I will just bring that up now. I haven't got anything on XLM. There we go. So, wow, yeah, XLM's got massive volume. So, and we think XRP volume's good. XLM is very, very good. So, again, around about the 16th at 9 a.m., XLM around about 10.1 cents, now 11.1. So, that's only up 10%, but that's still fantastic. I mean, a whole 10% in a bear market, and it's got the huge volume there to back it up. As I said, is this a move by market makers that are sensing a lot of FOMO around ISO? A lot of people buying in. Are they going to dump on us come Monday? Who knows? The fact that it's running up on a weekend would suggest that maybe it's buy orders that have been hit. And the mix of small buy orders and sell orders have got it to this point, and then they put in a big order when it gets to a certain price, looking to dump it when they come back in on the Monday. Who knows? I mean, this is all speculation. No one really knows. But we've seen a lot of manipulation. But the fact that it's XRP and XLM means it's probably a broader ISO kind of FOMO pattern, possibly. But these big candles followed by smaller green candles, it's definitely, almost certainly institutional money buying vast quantities and then people FOMOing in. Now, is that going to dump? That's the big question. Or is it actually people buying for the long-term hold? That's always the question. The Blind Trader, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for popping in. Good to see you on here. We will all wake up one day to a $10 XRP. That will be absolutely fine for me. My sell target on XRP starts at $5, and it's between $5-10. I'll be happy to sell, but I'll always keep that moon bag of XRP just in case. I came into the market last year, very, very solid XRP army. And I believe in the use case that's not changed. But what has changed is my attitude to investment long term, and realizing that ROI and results they vary. So XRP could be in a lawsuit for the next year, 2 years. It could be a week. Who knows? So I'm concentrating and focusing on other projects that might offer me a real return on investment, without that speculation. Apparently, the S&P 500 is looking to open well down on Monday, expecting Bitcoin to follow. What's my views? To be fair, I don't follow the markets in terms of stocks and things. I've literally just started looking at stocks and shares now because I've got Trading 212. There's a promo on at the moment where you can get a free share, so I've just done that. I literally deposited like £1, and I got an $88 Starbucks one, which is really cool, and actually went up by 5% the next day as well. So I'm going to start getting into it because of Trading 212. I've got it. I might as well have a look at it. I'm probably going to focus on crypto because I think that's the more volatile. And if you pick the right winner, you could do really, really well. But stocks and shares has never really been my thing. So I don't really know about the S&P 500. But I do know that there's a correlation between the traditional markets and crypto. So you're right. If the S&P takes a big dive, Bitcoin and crypto will probably follow suit. What's my views on Reef? Reef isn't one that I'm wholly familiar with, to be fair. I mean, there's been a fair bit of chatter about it. I think it's done. It's come to the foreground in the last few days. I've heard a bit of chatter about Reef, but I personally don't know much about it. It's up 13%, fully diluted, 20 billion tokens, near enough in full supply. I mean, it's up 13% today. All time, let's have a look. So it launched December 20 into 2021 bull run, stayed up pretty high all the way through to May, came down and then saw typical bull run action. Without speculating, it did well in the bull run. Is it just a bull run coin, or has it got good utility? I couldn't tell you. But it's a reliable, extensible, efficient, fast layer one blockchain for DeFi, NFT, and gaming. So that dedicated layer one blockchain for DeFi, NFT, and gaming is good. There's another project I like at the moment. Is it XRD? Radix, yes, it is. Because Radix is a dedicated DeFi network. I do like that quite a lot. I've yet to pick any up, but I do want to. But yeah, certainly Reef is looking like it's kind of like on that opposite side, gaming, metaverse. It could hopefully share the market. What's my views on what's a moon bag? 10,000 coins. No, I mean, a moon bag for everyone is kind of like relevant to yourself. For me, I'm perfectly honest about it. I'm an average guy. I work a 9 to 5. I've got a family, and I've never afforded to. I don't have the capital to invest. So crypto for me was a cheap way to get into investment. Very volatile, but offered great returns. Now, I did do really well last year. I was dollar cost averaging in, and I got my capital up to a decent reserve. For me, a lot of money was in crypto. I've taken a bit out, I've spent it, family things and that, but I've still got a massive lump of capital. That is down 60%, but I'm still massively in profit. Now, in terms of XRP, a decent moon bag for me is different to everyone else, but I would always make sure I've got a little reserve that I don't sell just in case the crazies are right and we have some kind of institutional buyback miracle that causes a 10k coin. You never know. You can't say never in crypto. What was that link I posted about on Discord? That was there's a Coalnet AMA coming up. So Coalnet is a project I quite believe in. They launched in the bear market. It's an IMO launch pad, so it's an initial marketing offering. And what they do, they've got really unique alpha tech that kind of tracks people's content on all these different platforms. So all the people that were shilling you shit coins last year and dumping the bags on you, If they do that on this platform, they know that they're doing it because they obviously have allocated tokens. They'll be tied in to vest like other investors rather than just being paid up front. And yeah, so it protects the project, it protects the investor, and it's good for the creator as well. I mean, I'm going to be signing up to CoalNet because I know that if I promote anything, it's because I believe in it. I haven't promoted too many things, but if I'm going to, I want to do it on a platform that says I believe in this, I've committed to it. So yeah, the CoalNet AMA is going to be an interesting one. I tried to post the link in the Discord, but it was broken, so I'll wait until they post it on Twitter and then I'll share it again. Crypto Bros, how are we doing, buddy? You like the setup? Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that feedback, buddy. Just trying to branch out, obviously, different platforms. We all know what's happening on the old TikTok at the moment. They don't like a lot of crypto people, so we'll see what's happening. I don't know if I can sell at $5 to $10 on too committed, even though I'd be a millionaire. I mean, this is the thing, Mark. You know, for me, one of my biggest lessons, apart from not being so emotionally attached to things like XRP, it's just taking profit. If you take profit, even if you leave yourself a decent chunk, at least you've made that money. You're not sat on money that you could lose ultimately. Don't be the bag holder. Even XRP, you might end up as a bag holder. So I've just committed to myself, given myself sell targets, and I'm going to try and stick to them. Luna Classic ever get to $1? Not for me. I mean, Luna Classic for me is trash. They're burning 1.2% of transaction fees, and that's kind of like the same setup as Shiba have got going. It won't make any difference at all to the supply. Not really. Not unless the community just start buying it. And after all, it is now just a community token. It's a community meme coin now. So Luna Classic for me is not a dollar coin. It might happen in a couple of decades. But yeah, for me, Luna Classic is a big no-no. Everyone's been stung by Luna to a degree in the last year. I'm not doing it again. I'm not supporting anything called Luna. Atom is going to Moon. Atom's fantastic tech. I really do like Atom. It's a great layer zero. Now, everyone knows that I'm really heavily into Polkadot and what is emerging from their ecosystem, but I do not discount Atom, and I do not discount, because I love Quant, I don't discount Link. I like utility, and they all bring something to the table. What's my thoughts on ETN? Electronium, for me, is a solid project, a fantastic part of a possible CBDC solution. So we've got the Digital Pound Foundation, that's Electronium, Ripple, and Quant. Now, make no mistake about it, Gilbert Verdian, the CEO of Quant, helped set up ISO 222. He's talking to banks and governments and institutions. He's not doing business-to-business deals. So for me, Electronium is really strong. If they are adopted for the bankless wallet solution as part of a government CBDC structure. Crow is fantastic as well. I really am, in terms of exchange tokens, although BNB will continue to be successful and probably Cake as well, Crow for me is the exchange to watch, I think. We've already seen it do 80, 90 cents last year. Granted, they have better rewards for spending and things like that. But ultimately, we've got to remember they are an exchange, and they are a very easy to use exchange. They have spent a hell of a lot of money on marketing. A lot of retail is going to come in through Crow, into Kronos, into DeFi. Fantastic setup. So yeah, go Team Crow. Hopping over to YouTube, it's great to see that channel is so busy, guys. Thank you for keeping that chat going. Look at ETS. Yeah, that's what I've done, Tom. I've taken the safe bet. I sold my Starbucks share, and I've got I've got the emerging markets, I think. And I'm just going to leave it in there to churn over. Q&T getting back up. Do I have a sell target or just ride it? For me, Q&T, I'm not a trader. I am a long-term investor. I could buy and sell, these rises and dips on Quant, but ultimately now that we're in the bear market, I'm just going to hold Ron through, and I'll continue to DCA into Quant. So I want a decent amount by the time we get to the next bull run, as most people do, because I strongly believe the next bull run is going to be end of 2024 into 2025. ISO is going to be in progress. It's going to be absolutely mental. And I think Quant for me is a 4-figure coin, whether that's just scraping 1,000 in 2 or 3 years, or whether that's hitting up towards 5 figures. Who knows? But we've got to remember with quant, tokenomics-wise, it's fantastic. To get an $1,000 quant, you only need a market cap of 14.5 billion. And that's nothing in crypto, especially if it's institutional. Carrying on down here. Not taking profit since 2017. Oh my goodness, Mark! I bet you've seen your portfolio just get absolutely decimated. I know you're probably in long-term projects. I know I speak to you on here quite often, and you have got some quality. But yeah, I mean, next time take some profit. It's my biggest lesson. It's hard to do. Hey Tom, how are we doing? Look, it's better than TikTok on YouTube. Looking at what I'm looking at really helps. I'm glad it does, and I thought, and that's not me, as I said, that's not me trying to show off. Look at me, look at what I do. It's just helping explain what I'm saying and why, because I can show you on here things that I like. Would a hot wallet be okay for average retail investors? I mean, it depends. I would always recommend a cold storage wallet, hardware wallet, something like a Treasure or Ledger. It's always going to be the safest thing to keep your keys offline. Because obviously, remember, the crypto doesn't lead the blockchain. It's just your security keys that you hold, and they're offline. I do use MetaMask and things like that quite a lot, and I hold in that. I do use it as a hot wallet. And I've got a fair bit on the hot wallets at the moment. I'm not keeping things on the exchanges. Staking I'm doing with the native platforms. I'm not going on exchanges and staking there. I'm tempted to stake some Moonbeam on OKX because they've got a pool open at the moment that is 70%. Now that doesn't seem sustainable, but OKX are very, very large now. They've come out of nowhere to a really big market cap. Quant is hype at the moment. I mean, quant technology is sound, but at the moment it's not in use. And as I said, ISO is purely speculative. So, quant could fall on its face. Now, the general consensus is that the tech is good enough for that not to happen. But who knows? It could. So, yeah, at the moment it is hype. It's not really in use. It's developmental. It's just sort of looking at what we think might happen with it. What would make me flip bullish on Bitcoin? I think there's a few things that need to happen for me to get bullish on Bitcoin at the moment. We could see run-ups, and there could be strong runs up to the high 20s, maybe even low 30s. But in terms of a bullish pattern on Bitcoin, for me to say, right, I'm really bullish now on crypto, I would want to see the war in Russia end. I would want to see inflation really coming down, not just sort of slowly decreasing, but actually come down solidly. I think that's going to take 12, 18 months. That's why I think the bull run's more than likely going to be end of 2024 into 25, along with the Bitcoin halving. So I'm going for a bit of a super cycle on there. Smiles, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Rune and Thor, Chain My Thoughts. I'm not really wholly familiar with them, to be fair. It is something I need to research a bit more. Algo's a sleeping giant. Algo is quality, and it is a giant. I'm not so sure it's asleep, though. A lot of people talk about Algo. It's one of these ones, it's a bit like HBAR. Everyone knows it's good, but no one buys it enough to pump the price up. It's what I call a proper utility project. It's got so much use case, and everyone knows it, that it just doesn't pump. It's not spectacular enough. It's not shiny enough. There's no bells and whistles. It just does the job. So it's solid without being show-offy. Thank you, Crypto Bros. I appreciate the sub on YouTube, buddy. Thank you very much for that. Any creator that accepts tokens for a payment is a scam. Very, very true. Energy Web Token. Energy Web Token is an interesting one because it has gone up really, really strongly, and it has been mentioned by BlackRock. I've got a slight bias to a project I am currently affiliated with. I have been affiliated with, not currently in partnership. That's fallen to one side now with the bear market. But there is another renewable energy token that deals with carbon offsets and things like that. And that's a much, 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 much smaller market cap called Green Life Energy. Check that out. If you like Energy Web, check out Green Web Energy, because Green Life Energy, because they are a tiny market cap, but they got some great relationships. And I really solidly do believe that that's something that's going to do well long term. As I said, I'm not a partner with them at the moment. I was last month. I'm not this month. So it's going to be just as and when. But I still support them. Still a great project. Uh, the thing is, some creators will accept tokens. Ultimately, they have to sell one day, selling on their audience. This is true. This is true. All we do, though, as influencers, obviously, and creators, is we share ideas about what we like. I think, in terms of someone like myself with 20,000 followers on TikTok and a few hundred on YouTube, my opinions voiced out loud wouldn't make too much difference. What frustrates me is when you get groups of creators, like certain groups of creators in the US that hyped up projects collectively last year. You can't help but think that's manipulative. So I do agree. Yeah, Crypto Bros. Yeah, I mean Jamie's obviously in Crypto Bros, and there was a project that came out recently, and it's a scam. Scams are undetectable sometimes. They are good scams and there are bad scams. Now, the only reason I didn't get caught out by that is because I actually just didn't like the project. So yeah, I mean, I put out an announcement about a scam coin, and Jamie from Crypto Bros was like straight away, oh god, because obviously Jamie's got a bit of a further reach than I have as well. But it's one of those things you can't spot them, and it happens. Scam coins happen. Oh, and this is why we're really careful to sort of say, obviously, none of this is financial advice, people. So just addressing the point made on YouTube there. Alistair, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. I hope you're well. We should find out what cards Ripple and SSC are holding on Monday. Hopefully a settlement is soon. And this is it. I think there's a lot of speculation around that at the moment, and that's why a lot of the ISO projects are pumping. I think if if Ripple and the SEC can come to a settlement, it does at least show a way forward for everyone. Will set the tone for the rest of the market. I like Ripple. I like XRP. I hold XRP, and I'm very, very bullish on it. Will an XRP run cause other altcoins to follow? I don't know if it will. I mean, it's very specific. I think XRP Ripple will get bullish. Other ISO tokens will probably get bullish. But the rest of the market might not follow. Generally speaking, it is either Bitcoin or Ethereum that pull the market behind them. Could an XRP run do it? It could. I mean, at the moment, I reported on that today. It's currently the fourth most traded asset. I was at 848 million traded the other day. So it's pretty good. Too much being sold. If it's such a powerhouse, why is hundreds of millions sold almost daily? Absolutely true. Get fixed. This is it. It's heavily, heavily traded. And until people stop trading it, it just won't accrue any value. Quant flying off the back of the news of Nexi and SIA partners. Absolutely, yeah. Quant's really strong, and it'll continue to do these partnerships. Is ETH proof of work worth a play? To be honest, Mark, I haven't even looked at it. I'm not sure where or how it's going to be used. I know that the miners are struggling. The ETH miners are really struggling to find other sources of income. So it might do just to keep the miners alive. Knowing crypto Ripple wins and XRP dumps, expect the unexpected. Yeah, this is it. I mean, XRP is the longest running buy the rumor sell the news event that crypto's ever seen. I mean, we've been in this lawsuit now 2 years. I've been in crypto for a year and a half, and it's been nothing for a year and a half except when will they settle? Every little rumor, every little whisper causes a little pump and then a dump. It's just really annoying, and that's why XRP to me isn't what I'm DCAing at the moment. I'm doing things that are a bit more kind of free to trade. Phantom, any ideas? I really like Phantom still. I think in terms of DeFi, it's still got long-term potential. It doesn't do anything particularly special other than the fact it's very fast and very cheap. And it has had some good DeFi projects on it. It needs some team stability. That's what it needs. It's reliable, it's cheap, and it's fast. But it needs some team stability because it causes FUD in the market. Almost fell for this is going back over to Tom on YouTube. Almost fell for a scam today. Matched with a girl on dating app a month or so ago. She existed as we FaceTime. Told me she was into crypto. We spoke about it a lot. It's all she spoke about. She was trying to get. Was she trying to get your seed phrase? Okay, let's have a look. What is the German MP saying about 24th of September to remind this date? Have you heard anything? I haven't, to be fair. Let's Google this because I heard this about a German MP. I haven't actually read that news story. So, German MP, was it 24th of September? I need to learn to type sideways, man. German legislator warns of... Come on. I know you're streaming, but you can do it. DeFi liquidity mining with USDC. Sorry, that's not the story. So, German legislator warns on September 24th. Everyone will remember exactly where he or she was. It seems clear that he misspoke about the date and meant to reference February 24th as a reference, with a full speech at the bottom of the page using closed caption translation to use. Things are moving at a rapid pace in the world today. It seems you can't keep it to German legislator. What in the world is it? So, yeah, it sounds like a German MP was talking about the 24th of September, and other members of the German legislature reacted as if he had spoken out of turn. The video is available, but I haven't watched it. So that will be an interesting watch. I'll watch that later on. That'd be cool. HBAR's got great utility. I do like that, Ahmad. But I mean, again, it's a proper utility token. So, oh, what's going on here? There we go. Oh, got a pop-up. Yeah, HRP's proper, HBAR's proper utility. Therefore, for me, it's a slow growth coin. It's got good tech, good team, good partners, but it's just a real workhorse of a project. So very, very slow. Again, nothing fancy. Do I think the Ethereum merge was rather underwhelming? I think the Ethereum merge was exactly what I expected it to be. Completely underwhelming. It didn't actually change anything in terms of how you or I at the front end use it or anything. What it has done is created a lack of income for the Ethereum miners. The staking rewards for next year are forecast to be about 3%. Ethereum could have killed itself here. And of course, we've got Gary Gendler now saying a lot of proof of stake projects could all be securities. So they've put themselves in the firing line, really have. Yeah, so they're trying to get you, trying to get into your MetaMask wallet. So they're seeing that you're in crypto, and then they'll get your seed phrase. Sounds about right. Gold diggers of the crypto generation. Could a black swan event, or is it scaremongering? I don't even try and predict the markets and what they're going to do to that degree. I'm looking long term. I mean, if we have a black swan event and it crashes hard, for me, it's just going to present a better buying opportunity. If it runs up hard, then it's just going to cost me more to buy the same things. But ultimately, I'm looking 2-3 years down the line. That's where my focus is. So although I do look at the charts and I try and have a look and see what's happening in the market at the moment and whether we're strong or weak, I mean, ultimately, just this is the bizarre thing. Like, look at the volume on Bitcoin, and yes, there's a lot more red. In terms of YouTube, there's a lot more red here than there is green, and there are massive red candles, hence the dips. But we've still got more volume being bought on Bitcoin than ever. It's just that there's loads of people selling it as well. So it's bizarre. We're probably buying more Bitcoin than we ever have, but there's a lot more people selling. So it's really difficult to call the market. I mean, I don't try and second guess it, to be fair. What do I think of XDC Network? It was leaked as part of the ISO 200. Yeah, XDC is certified ISO 222. It has been for some time. But we now know that XDC is probably going to be a very corporate institutional coin. So in terms of DeFi for you and I, or NFTs and gaming and metaverse, it's probably not for us. It could be a good investment, but again, like HBAR, it's because it's going to have institutional partnerships. It's going to be slow growth, but solid growth, hopefully. Um, yeah, good to hear you're not that silly, Tom, that you'd given the seed phrase. That's good then. 1.6 million Bitcoin currently on exchanges, high sell pressure incoming. Yeah, I mean, it does look like we're getting a short squeeze, to be fair. We're coming to the end of this channel, and it will either go up or down. And I think the way things are set up at the moment, we're probably going to see down. I mean, a complete boycott on Russian oil and gas would really hurt the EU. But I think they're just looking on ways of putting the squeeze on Russia with the Ukraine war, especially given what's come out in the news in the last 24 hours about possible war crimes. I mean, it's awful. Do I think Quant will drop again? Am I still buying? I am DCAing into Quant for sure. I don't really care what the price is. It's still cheaper than I've really ever bought it. My DCA is still well over $100. I didn't start buying it until it was $64 last year. So Quant's still a good buy, in my opinion, for me, on my circumstances, my DCA. I do think the prices will come down. If Bitcoin goes down, Quant will follow. But Quant's very strong right now. There's not a lot of supply out there to be bought up. So, as long as there's demand, the price will hold. And I think there's a lot of demand for it right now. People are really realizing how strong Quant could be. What are my favorite 3 micro caps for the next run? Now, do I give you this? Good, it's opening up on the right screen. So I've got an Excel spreadsheet. Because I like so many projects and I'm a bit of a magpie, I've had to tier them. So in my tier 4, which is my degen tier, my low cap degen tier, I've got a few. And they've been there all the time. So I really like Quorum. That's seen a run. Brand new layer 1 on XRPL. A brand new network. And it will separate from XRPL. But Quorum is strong for me. I like MTV. That's gone on a run again recently. I think QuantStamp's worth a look. Security tokens are going to be hot. And QuantStamp looks really good. But also things like Bluezell, I think, are worth a look as well. Lossless, definitely worth a look. But I've got some proper degen plays that I would just never share. But they're reasonably respectable projects that have every chance if they survive a bear market. Hey, Steve the Power, how are we doing, buddy? Musk is going to start taking KuCoin as he's trying to gain access to the Indian market. KCS is KuCoin, isn't it? Am I right or am I wrong? Yeah, KCS is KuCoin. Why would I don't really understand. I haven't seen that news story. I wouldn't understand the correlation between KuCoin and Musk and India. I don't really get that. Why are people still buying Luna and Luna C? Because they've been fooled. The big bag holders on Luna have pumped the market and dumped it, and people are still FOMOing in. Yes, it went on a good run, but they completely sold on them. So I don't know why people think Luna's going to be doing well. Crypto Joshua, how are we doing, buddy? A report from Forbes says majority of Bitcoin and crypto trading is fake. How? I think that's the reported possibly volume of trading on exchanges. They probably have been guilty in the past of inflating their figures. So that's probably what that would indicate, although I haven't read that article myself, so I wouldn't know. Why is Bitcoin so stagnant around 20K? It's not. It's been incredibly volatile. And we've, in the last 6 weeks, we've seen it at 25K and we've seen it at 18K. It's not stagnant at 20K. It is incredibly volatile, and it will go through periods of sideways movement. So, for the last, few days, we have been centered around this 20K mark. But in terms of volatility, even in this period, it's been up to 20.5, 19.2. So it's just a lot of volatility, but it's zooming out. It does help put it into perspective. It's definitely on the way down. It's just that we get these little relief rallies. Everyone gets excited again, and it dumps. And then we're like, well, why is it going sideways? And then we all get excited again, and then it dumps. So it's just a horrible, vicious cycle at the moment of scary volatility. And that's really now why I don't trade. I don't have the nerves of steel or the TA wherewithal or the time to trade. So I'd rather just do the long-term investor thing. XRP has done very, very well today. XLM's followed suit as well. I'm just going to have a quick look around. So XRP, 9.8% today. XLM, in your own time, computer, come on. XLM, up 7.5% today. XDC, any movement on XDC? 1%, but that's not bad for XDC. Like I say, it's not spectacular. It doesn't grab our attention like the others do. Algo, how's Algo done? 4.5, 5%. So yeah, I mean, Algo, XLM, XRP, they're kind of like the leaders in that ISO arena. So I think they're probably all going on a run. Quant's just the strongest. I think that the rumor of possible settlement is probably fueling the ISO sector. Quant's up 3.5% for the day. It's up at 109. It touched 112, which would have been good. But yeah, I mean, we will have volatility in the market for months and months and months to come. I don't think the lowest buying opportunities are in. 17.5 here back in June could have been the bottom. But the way things are at the moment, macroeconomic wise and things, and if we have to clamp down economically more on Russia with more sanctions, it's going to hurt us as much as it hurt them, if not more. So, the economy could really be in big trouble, in which case we'll go sub 17.5. Where it stops, I don't know. No one really does. Crypto Jamie, you've hopped across TikTok, I see. Welcome over there, bro. You have a bone of contention. What's that? In fact, I won't tell you the secret of my setup. You're jealous. Think the June low of 17.6 Bitcoin is important for any kind of bullish case that needs to hold. Absolutely, Scott. I think if we break that 17.6, that's where we've bounced, and there's a strong trend lined upwards. So if you're on my YouTube at the moment, you can see the daily chart that I've got up. I've got a line going from that 17.5 all the way through. When we had that rising bear flag pattern, that just broke down quite nicely, right on time when I said it would. But also then we've bounced off that same line once as well. So 18.5, we're getting squeezed into a channel. And if we break down below that 17.5, and just look how far across we've got to go for support. So we're right away over here. Now the nearest support after 17.5 might come at about 16.4, and then 15.7, and then another big drop really to about 13.8. So yeah, 17 is a very scary place for us to be. I would not want it to drop, but if it does, we would see blood. Not literally, just metaphorically, obviously, in terms of the markets, before I scare people. It's not that bad. Evening from Crow, Crypto.com. If you are generally the team there at Crow, welcome. Very, very bullish on that. If you're on my Discord, you see I'm NoobUK.Crow. So yeah, very, very pro Crow. All my NFTs are either Crypto.com NFTs or Kronos Network NFTs. So I'm with you, 100%. Well, not 100%. I've got a lot of other projects I like. But in terms of exchanges, you're my number one. So all good. Lots of love here for Crow. Right, let's have a look. Have I got anything to catch up on YouTube? It's when you buy in on payday and it drops 10% 4 days later. Yeah, that's a stinger. But that's dollar cost averaging. We're buying in a bear market now. If you're buying in stuff, Tom, that you believe in for the next 12, 18 months, I would probably say we are in a very cheap place still. So, a 10% drop now on the grand scale of things, hopefully not too painful in 2 years when it pays dividends. What about IOTA, ISO 222 compliant? I'm not sure if IOTA always stumps me. I'm not sure if it's ISO 222 compliant and certified, or whether it's a service using ISO. ISO 222. There's the lovely charts. We love the little ISO charts. So let's have a look. That's really not helpful. There we go. So IOTA is part of it as well. So we've got IOTA, Ripple, XDC, Stellar, and Algo. At the time of this publication, fair enough, 2 years ago, there's probably I think it's key to remember as well with ISO 222, guys. ISO 222 is a standard. You can work to that standard without being certified. I'd put Link up in that bracket for sure. Probably Atom as well. Maybe even Polkadot to some degree. But they won't be working in this financial sector with ISO. So they do work to that very high standard. But finance-wise, they're probably a little bit away from it. I think Link is more associated than anything else because it will help build part of the blockchains that go into this. What do I think the bottom in? I think the bottom of Bitcoin at the moment is looking to be 17.5, but I would expect, given our current situation, our current circumstances, I'm thinking that will break down. It's just how badly it breaks down. Have I ever used crypto bots? Yes, I have, Jay. Yeah, I've used primarily not the commercial ones because you can pay a lot of money for trash or you can get gold. I've never really risked it. I've just used the traditional bots on KuCoin, so you can get spot trading bots, you can get portfolio bots, and they'll do all that magic trading for you, the microtransactions. You do get fees, so they're not as profitable maybe as some of these other bot services that are good, but I could not tell you what is a good bot service. So yeah, it's a high risk thing. I think you could end up subscribing to something that's really, really not very good. But yeah, I mean, going back to YouTube, IOTA is definitely solid. It's a great project. It's one of those ones that I've left out of my portfolio because I like other things. I don't want to overload with kind of like ISO tokens, even though I like it and I really strongly support it and I see the use cases 100%. I've got XRP, I've got XLM, I've got XDC. I'm going to be buying some Algo as well. I'm going to be pretty top heavy. And consider I've got Quant as well. And I've got a little bag of Electronium as well. So, I've pretty loaded up on ISO and I'm still dollar cost averaging into Quant as well. So I'm reluctant to get into more. I think I've got enough, to be fair. So just going into the hourly on Bitcoin again, I've just seen that it's dipped below 20k. So yeah, the last few hourly candles on Bitcoin have been red. Is that a little cup and handle on the hourly? Not really. We've gone above that line. That's not formation. How's the the 4 hourly would be interesting to see. The 4 hourly could form another cup and handle. I mean, if we have a look at the hourly, because this is the cup and handle that I called previously. So that was that cup, that handle, and then I put a TikTok out saying, is this a cup and handle? Around about here, and then a few hours later, it just went bang. So, sometimes TA helps, but sometimes it's just guesswork. And like I said, I don't claim to be an expert on TA, but I've been pretty good recently, to be fair. I've not been predicting prices and things, but just kind of like this might happen in this area. Like I said, not exact predictions, but I've been getting better. But yeah, I'm just looking for anything positive in here at the moment, and I don't see anything positive. Now, although this is giving me a buy signal on that screen, I mean, I wouldn't be buying at the moment. I think there's too much happening. I'm waiting to see what happens when the markets open Monday. I think someone else mentioned that as well. We've got so much going on in the news right now. It would be, I think it would be foolhardy to enter the market now, but there's a lot of green out there, and we're still seeing green for the day. I mean, DOT's up 3%, which is great to see. Where's my ICP? I haven't got ICP. It has Glimmer doing. So Moon River, that's up 3%. Nice. I've got quite a bit in that position now. Moonbeam, though, is one of my big ones at the moment. Where's Moonbeam gone? I saw it. I don't know. Oh, there it is. There it is. Up 4.5%. Yes. I like my Glimmer. Moonbeam is a product I'm very, very excited about. Very excited, as you can tell. I had a little bit of a sugar rush then. Horde Games, I'm not familiar with, I'm afraid. Jammy Beats. Dot or Atom? For me personally, I've gone Dot. Atom is quality. It's a great layer zero. But in terms of return of investment, I've gotten into Polkadot. I got into the Polkadot parachain auctions. And I've got quite a few products out of that I really like. Akala looked really, really good. I still think the tech is good on Akala. My confidence has been knocked by the AUSD hack it had. They have rectified it. They fixed it. But trading on the exchange on their DApp is still frozen. I can't do anything. I've still got all my Akala anyway. But yeah, Moonbeam and Moon River now look really solid. As well as Polkadex, I think is going to be another great one on Polkadot. Whereas Atom's used to build other projects, Polkadot's been really. I like the way Polkadot's got its relay chains and its parachains all set up. So they all are interoperable, and of course you've got the Kusama network as well. So we've got things that cross over into Kusama. But I've said openly, I think if Polkadot's got the capability to possibly really conquer Ethereum, because I think Moonbeam in itself is better than Ethereum. And that's not me being silly. If you read up on Moonbeam, it is literally designed so you can do exactly what you do on Ethereum. Same tools, same scripts, everything. But you also then get the inherent bonus of being on the Polkadot network and everything that offers. So Dot for me is massive. Moonbeam has huge potential, and I've stocked up on that quite heavily. Is Ethereum name service a good project? These name services, I think they're a good use case. I've done that on the Kronos chain. So there's a Kronos name service as well. And I've got a few. I've got CryptoNoobUK.Cro and I've got NoobUK.Cro. I've also got Crow.Cro, but it's not CRO, it's KRO, but I still think that's going to be worth a lot of money in a few years. But yeah, I think for me, Ethereum name service is a good use case. I think it's overvalued. I really do. I know it's going to do a lot more in the future, but yeah, we really don't. I really don't know which way that's going to go. There's lots of stuff. There's lots of utility you can tie into it. Hey Huds, how we doing, buddy? Good to see you. I hope you're well. I am. Thank you. Yes. IOTEX. Let's have a look. I haven't had a look at that project for a very, very long time. I can remember very little about it, to be honest with you. Hence why I'm running straight to CoinMarketCap. So 95% of the supply and circulation, just under 3 cents, 4% up in a day. Market cap fully diluted, might as well do that, 286 million. All time, let's have a look. Launched in 2018, flatlined through that bear market. Bull run. It launched and didn't hold any of its price. It did perform very well in the last bull run, 10xing, but I don't know what it's like utility-wise, so I couldn't really comment on that, I'm afraid. What's the difference between having a .crypto, .eth, or .cro, etc.? It is literally depending on what network you're on. So these name services, they are literally just like, I've got noobuk.cro. That is literally a name that is associated with my normal blockchain address. So that ridiculously long reference you get for your wallets, by using the name services, you can literally give it a name. So my Crow wallet is called noobuk.cro. No, a lot of services don't actually use that yet, but it's really easy to integrate. So I think it's got its use cases for sure. But that's basically what it is. It's really useful in terms of keeping an address book, or just making sending transactions or receiving transactions simpler. Instead of copying and pasting this huge long wallet address in, you can just put, send it to me here, noobuk.cro. Also, what I would say about it is, what was I going to say? I think they're going to be really tradable. I've got crow.cro, but there's loads of other use cases as well. I mean, if you think about NFTs and the trade and sale of NFTs, you could do it privately. You can just say, send that to my whatever. You haven't got to give out. You don't even have to give out your wallet address for people to have a look at. You can just give out the name. But even then, the name's going to be on the blockchain. So it's not a way of hiding. It's just a way of making life simpler. First time in my life I bought crypto, Bitcoin and XRP, and I'm Gen X, so buckle up. Fair play to you. I think if you're just getting into crypto now, it might not be the bottom, but I think if you're holding it long term, it's not a bad shout. It's not a bad time to get in. Is Jupiter a good buy or is it garbage? I'm very cautious with Jupiter, and that's because I know that in the last bull run, it was primarily traded by VCs. So although outwardly it's got really good utility and it's got a possibly good use case, it was pumped and dumped by VCs all over. So if it survives the bear market, I mean, it has got good utility, it appears, and a good team, but I don't know. My opinion of it is slightly tainted. Randomcrypto.cro, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Is crypto in a bear market? Yes, Ping, it is. I think undoubtedly. We've been going into a bear market for a long time. I think basically we've been bearish since Bitcoin started dipping. It really was. A lot of experienced people in crypto and in the markets said December, that was it. We were done. And they were absolutely right. Doesn't have any bearing on me. I'm not going into IOTA myself. Thanks for your opinion. No worries, Decrypto, not a problem. As I said, that's primarily what I like doing on here. I just like talking about crypto. Happy to give my opinion if I have one. All I did then with IOTA is I just had a quick look at it. It didn't do anything at all in the bear markets, but then again, nothing does. But it also didn't hold any of its prior value following launch. So I said, without going into a deep dive, you just don't know what it's going to do. So I couldn't offer an opinion on that one anyway. But yeah, happy to at least have a look. Thank you for all the likes and the follows, by the way, people. I have been seeing those come through. I do appreciate it. I think I'm going to wind it up and call it a day there. So if you don't follow me here on TikTok, please do. If you're not following me here or subbed yet on YouTube, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, please. It really, really does help me. This is the worst time to buy crypto. This is why I bought. Is having a link.xrp, VChain, Glimmer, and Quant too diversified? No, Luke. I think that's actually fine. 5, 6, 7 projects is fine. I mean, I've probably got over 20. The major ones, I've probably got about 10. But no, I don't think there's any such thing as too diverse. You've got a good Oracle there in Link. You've got a good layer 0 there with Dot. XRP, you've got your bases covered in terms of payments and remittances. Glimmer Moonbeam, I think, is an excellent layer 1 coming out. It's a good competitor for ETH. Quant, of course, interoperability is fantastic. So in terms of the diversification, the projects you're in, I think that hits the nail spot on. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to wind it up and call it a day there, folks. So I really do appreciate you being here. I really appreciate your support. Appreciate your questions and your comments. As I said, please just support me by following here and over there if you can. Links in the bio to here if you're not already there. If you can subscribe there as well, it'd be brilliant. Really appreciate your support. It's great to talk to you again, and I'll see you all again soon.